Hi everyone, my name is Lorena Gusaro. In this presentation, I'm going to walk through my personality and leadership style using the Ocean model, Strengthsfinder, and a few of other assessments like the locus of control and the LMX. I will also share with you how my personality can affect a team and what I have learned in this process about myself. Based on the ocean model, I would definitely describe my personality as a balance, but also it has it leans like a certain aspect of my personality. Like I'm open to having and sharing new ideas and suggestions if if there's a project or something, but I know that I also like to have a structure or some kind of follow through paper or like a standards of operation, like something that states what it is that I need to follow and how I need to follow it to make sure that I am following the expectation of my project or role or whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm also highly conscientious and I stay organized and responsible and I am always focused on getting things done. When it comes to the extraversion, I think I am kind of in the middle. I can communicate well and work with others, but I also need time to recharge on my own and definitely high in the agreeables and I tend to just say yes most of the time, and it's hard for me to say no because I care a lot about people in my work class or classmates. And I always try to maintain a positive relationship with those around me, and that also adds my professional team members. For the emotional stability, I feel like that sometimes I stress a lot when I take on more than I can handle, but I feel like I'm able to manage it when I zone out of that space for a little bit. When I look at the Strengths Finder results, a few of the main strengths that I was able to see on there was the high responsibility, achiever, and relator. I think that I always have a lot of expectation of myself to get things done right, and I most of the time tend to have to do it myself to have it completed or done the way that I expect it to. I'm very goal driven, so I always try to be productive and make sure that I am able to prepare ahead of time for things so that I am not at the last minute struggling, or if something else comes up that I have already had some kind of preparation ahead of time and just keep going forward. Um, I find it really meaningful to connect with others and making sure that my team and as well as my managers and leaders have some kind of trust and a good relationship within it because I feel like that really shapes how the team does and how they work, and definitely like the communication and the confidence that they can develop within one another. um because of my personality, I think that I bring a lot of reliability and stability to the team. um my teammates or my leaders can definitely count on me to make sure that I'm organized and that I will follow through on projects or tasks that I'm given. And then I always have a good communication to let them know where I'm at, or if I'm struggling, to have the confidence to let them know where if I need any kind of support in a certain aspect or area of my project. At the same time, one of the challenges that I sometimes struggle with is that I will say yes to a lot of things and definitely take on too much than what I can handle, especially if I already have a list of things or projects that I have to turn in. I like to do as much as I can to help others, and so that sometimes can be negative, um, impact negatively in my performance, and that can definitely lead to other negative impacts. But I feel like I'm a strong team player, and I also have to try to not overload myself when helping others. From the locus of control assessment, I was able to learn that I have kind of a more internal locus of control. So I feel like my actions and my decisions definitely affect hugely my outcomes or my results. And so I usually have to take responsibility for what happens, whether it's a good or a bad outcome. And I always try to learn from my experiences. And it has definitely helped me to make sure that I stay motivated and accountable so that if I make mistakes, that I'm able to say, I did it and this is what happened. What can I do to prevent it from happening again? And what can I do so that others don't end up making the same mistake? I used to be really hard on myself before, but now I feel like I've gotten to the point that I understand that sometimes things can get out of hand and sometimes it is out of our control. And we can only try our best effort and be able to say and stay accountable for our actions, whether they're good or negative, and especially when it comes to outcomes in a professional setting. The LMX assessment definitely helped me to realize how important the relationships are in my leadership style. I really value a good communication, having that respect between a leader and a team member and colleagues, and definitely even those around us. And it's very important to have a good trust and to make sure that the expectations are communicated clearly. And I definitely tend to naturally try to build those strong connections and try to stay close to those who I can learn from, and then also know when I'm able to kind of work with people that maybe learn something from me. But I also need to be mindful that I need to be a team player and make sure that my team has a good, strong, solid foundation before anything else. One of the biggest things that I learned from this little experiment was how much of my leadership is influenced by the relationships I build professionally and also those that are personally. Um, and then also the amount of responsibility that I take and that I'm able to handle. Moving forward, I definitely want to work on being able to delegate adequately and making sure that I am not just relying solely on one person just because I feel comfortable with them or that I don't ask for help when I need it. I also want to make sure that I have the right way to set boundaries and know when to say no and know also when to delegate adequately, like I mentioned before. I think working on these will definitely allow me to gain some more skills that I could definitely implement in my new roles in the future and also help me build those stronger relationships between my team and team leaders and managers. Overall, I think that this experience has definitely helped me understand a little bit more about myself in a professional setting. And it also reminded me that we definitely affect others without realizing. And so we really need to be self aware about how we interact with other team members and colleagues and supervisors, because that can definitely be the beginning of how and what kind of relationship you build. And that can either impact it negatively or positively, depending on how it goes for future projects, or if you're working for, long term, a long time, then it definitely can make it uncomfortable if it's a negative impact and whatnot. But if it's a good impact, then it'll be something that can be beneficial. And it definitely gave me the areas that I need to improve on. And hopefully, I'm able to find more things that will help me to continue growing and shaping myself as the leader that I am meant to be.